I've started hundreds of worlds. Most of them didn't really go anywhere. Not because I was bad at Minecraft, but I skipped one step. I had no plan. Sometimes just starting and seeing where the world goes is fun, but by doing so, we end up with random builds, a random base, and we often end up rinsing and repeating. When starting a survival world, I like to think of 4 core principles: theme, location, systems, and goals. When you start a world, is there a specific theme that you want to build in? Whether it's medieval, modern, neoclassical, you get to choose. When it comes to your theme, what does this world feel like? So I mentioned themes like medieval or modern, but those are pretty vague and pretty broad. So if you're building in medieval, are you making it a medieval kingdom that's reclaiming itself? Or if you're building in a fantasy style, is it overgrown with magic because nature took over? The choice is up to you. If you're going medieval style, this is a block palette that I would recommend. Now in reality, you do have thousands of blocks that you can choose from. But I find that having a restriction on blocks helps with your creativity because it gives you less to work with, so you really have to be creative with your choices. Or if you're going with a more modern style, these are blocks that I personally would use as well. Modern style is well known for being simple, sleek, and using a combination of blocks like this really make it pop and fit in with that theme. Location is where everything starts coming together. Depending on the type of theme, our location is going to be drastically different. You wouldn't build medieval styles in the end, right? And you wouldn't put sci-fi themes in a taiga. Find your theme in your location, and then you can move on to the next step, systems. You need to think about practical needs for your build, such as access to wood, food, or iron if you're building especially redstone heavy contraptions. Some early game systems that I like to think of are food, a basic mining setup, and storage. As you get farther along, other systems that you might want to build are an iron farm, a village trading hall, or an XP farm. The way that I like to look at systems is what is a problem I want to solve, and what is something I could build that serves as a solution to that problem. So if you hate running out of iron and going to mine for iron, maybe an iron farm is what you should build as one of your systems. When it comes to goals, you can frame these in either a short-term or a long-term type of goal. Maybe some of your short-term goals are getting full iron or building your first base, while some long-term goals could be beating the Ender Dragon or building a mega base. One of my main long-term goals is world lore. I want to add more of a story to my world to make it more lived in. But if you go into your world and all you're thinking is, I want to build something cool, that's not really a goal. It doesn't give you something that you can focus on in order to accomplish. Using these 4 ideas of theme, location, systems, and goals helps you build your world up into something more than just a random world that you started on a Tuesday. I've applied this idea to my own forever world. I wanted a world where I could build whatever I want, whenever I want, with no restrictions. However, I wanted to approach it with systems and theme in mind. I started with 1 week, then I went on to a month, and then after 1 year, I had infrastructure in place to allow me to build almost anything I wanted to. Now, I'm not done. I'm still building, still planning, and still going. Over 2,000 days later, and I have so much work to show off. That means in 6 months, my world will grow with more builds, more farms, more everything. I incorporate these into my forever world, and if you want to check those out, you can click this video in the top right corner. Or you could check out a video of 10 things that I stopped doing in Minecraft to save my sanity. But that's enough out of me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!